There's a kind of silence that belongs only to the night. A silence not of absence, but of presence. Not the lack of noise, but the fullness of peace. It is the hour when the body surrenders, when the breath becomes slower, deeper, and the mind, once filled with the noise of daily life, begins to soften like fog lifting from a quiet river. This is the time when the world rests. Trees still, clocks quieter. Even the stars seem to hum softer, as if the universe is exhaling. In this sacred stillness, healing unfolds. It doesn't ask for permission. It simply begins, quietly, steadily, faithfully, but not for everyone. For many elders, this silence has been interrupted, not by loud sounds, not by fear, but by something far quieter, a stirring, a signal from deep within the body. They find themselves rising in the dark, once, maybe twice, sometimes 3 or 4 times each night. The clock reads 2 a.m., then 3:30 a.m., then again at 5 a.m. They move slowly. The legs feel heavier than they used to. The air feels colder. The warmth of the bed, once a sanctuary, now feels distant. They shuffle to the bathroom, sometimes with a real need, sometimes with an urgency that vanishes the moment they arrive. And then they lie awake, staring at the ceiling, or worse, at nothing at all, lost in the fog of sleep that refuses to return. And in the morning, there is fatigue, not just tiredness, but the kind that settles in the bones, eyes that struggle to stay open, limbs that ache before the day even begins, a heart that longs not just for sleep, but for peace. If you're watching this and this story feels like your own, or someone you love, please know this: the night has not abandoned you. It is waiting for you to hear what your body has been trying to say. This pattern, this rising in the dark, is not always a disease, not always a punishment of aging. Sometimes it's a quiet invitation to listen, to learn a new rhythm, to reclaim your rest. Before we continue, please take a moment to support this space. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and most importantly, ¿Cómo olvido? What time do you usually wake up in the night? How long has it been like this? One of those shifts involves a hormone called vasopressin, a messenger that tells the kidneys to slow down urine production at night. In our youth, vasopressin works beautifully. It protects our sleep by helping the kidneys rest. It allows the bladder to hold more. It lets us sleep through the night without interruption. But as we grow older, vasopressin declines. And so the kidneys, faithful and tireless, keep working at full speed, even while the body is trying to wind down. Your words may help someone else feel seen, and that in itself is healing. Now let us go deeper, because the truth is, we have been taught many things about aging. We've been told that poor sleep is part of growing older, that waking at night is normal, that it is just the body slowing down. But what if I told you something different? What if the body isn't failing, but simply speaking in a new language? One that does not cry out in pain, but whispers in patterns. One that asks, gently, for your attention, not your fear. Let's begin with one of the most overlooked, and yet most powerful, influences on sleep. Water. Yes, water. The most innocent, most essential of all things. The thing we're told to drink more of, to heal, to cleanse, to live. And yet, what many do not realize is this: it is not just how much water you drink. It is when you drink it that makes all the difference. After the age of 55, and especially after 60, the body begins to shift in subtle but important ways. You ever wonder why your nights feel different now? Why sleep feels lighter, more fragile, like it could slip away with the smallest sound, or no sound at all? You used to sleep through anything. Now, it's the clock you know by heart. 1:58 a.m., 3:14 a.m., 4:47 a.m. You rise from the bed quietly, sometimes to pee, sometimes because your body feels unsettled. But here's the question I want to ask you. What if it's not just aging? What if your body is asking for something, but in a new language? See, as we grow older, some of the body's quiet messengers begin to fade. One of them is called vasopressin, a hormone that tells your kidneys, nighttime is for rest. Slow down the filtering. In your 30s, 40s, even early 50s, vasopressin is strong. It helps you hold urine overnight. It lets the bladder stay still, and you sleep in peace. But around age 55 to 60, this hormone gently retreats. And without that signal, the kidneys don't know it's time to rest. They keep working like it's noon, filtering fluids, filling the bladder. And just like that, you're up. Again. Now, that doesn't mean something is wrong. It means something has shifted. And if we can understand the shift, we can work with it, not against it. If this perspective is helping you see your nights differently, go ahead and tap the like button. Not for the algorithm, for yourself. For recognizing that your body is still speaking and you're finally listening. Let go deeper. The bladder also changes with time. It becomes more sensitive, more reactive. It used to be patient, able to hold 2 full glasses of water with no fuss. But now, it sounds the alarm even when it's half full. And sometimes, that alarm isn't even real. It's just habit. Here's what I mean. Many people, especially elders, go to the bathroom just in case before bed. It feels responsible. But over time, this trains your bladder to expect emptiness, to signal urgency before there's actual urgency. Now, let's dive into something that's simple but often misunderstood. Water. We all know how vital it is, right? It's the essence of life, the fuel that powers us. We're told to drink plenty of it every day. Drink more water, they say. Stay hydrated, they say. But here's where the confusion creeps in. More is not always better. You see, hydration is essential, no doubt. Your body needs water to stay alive, to function, to keep everything moving in harmony. But it's not just about how much you drink. It's about when you drink it. Think about it this way. Just like we follow the rhythms of the sun, your body has its own rhythm, a rhythm it thrives on. And if you've ever felt sluggish, tired, or restless after a late-night glass of water, or that soothing cup of herbal tea before bed, you might be experiencing the side effects of mistimed hydration. If you're already realizing you might have been drinking water at the wrong times, smash that like button and hit subscribe. You're about to unlock the simple yet powerful solution to your nighttime awakenings. Now, let's look at the ideal water timing schedule. How to drink, when to drink, and how much. 1. The myth of more is better. It's a myth that's easy to believe. More water must equal better hydration, right? But here's the thing. Your kidneys work best during daylight hours, when your body is most active, most alert. From 6 a.m. to 3 p.m., this is when your body is ready to process fluids efficiently. Your kidneys are working, your heart is pumping strong, and your digestive system is in full swing. This is when you should hydrate deeply. This is your window for drinking the majority of your water. Don't feel guilty about it. Drink that glass of water with your breakfast. Sip on some tea in the mid-morning. Hydrate with that big glass of water at lunch. But after 3 p.m., it's time to ease up. If you're enjoying this breakdown, hit the subscribe button and make sure you don't miss the rest. 2. The ideal water timing schedule. So, let's break it down. From 6 a.m. to 3 p.m., hydrate well. This is the time for your body to drink in the nutrients, the fluids, and the hydration it needs to keep going. Don't hold back during these hours. From 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., gradually cut back. You don't need to stop drinking, but reduce the volume a bit. This gives your body enough time to process fluids before it starts winding down. After 6:30 p.m., keep it minimal. If you're thirsty, sip a little water, but avoid drinking large amounts. That glass of water or your beloved evening tea could disrupt your sleep, sending you to the bathroom in the middle of the night. Think about it like this. As the sun sets, your body starts to rest. It's time to let the kidneys slow down and not work overtime. And don't be fooled by the idea that healthy drinks are harmless. Even herbal teas, like ginger or chamomile, that you think of as soothing before bed, can trigger your bladder and disturb your sleep. Even soup or golden milk, though nourishing, are still fluids that your body processes. If consumed late, they can wake you up when you're trying to rest. It's not about avoiding these drinks completely, but about timing them right. You can enjoy them, but not too close to bedtime. If you've learned something new today, and you're ready to change your hydration habits, Be sure to comment below with your thoughts. When do you usually drink your last glass of water? Let's keep this conversation going. Remember, your body has a natural rhythm. When you work with it, not against it, you allow your organs to rest and your sleep to become deep and rejuvenating. Now that we've explored the science behind the body's changes, let me share a few real stories that bring all of this to life. These are stories of people just like you. People who were once frustrated by disrupted sleep, but who found peace again simply by changing their water habits. And trust me, the transformation wasn't just physical. It was a shift in how they viewed their bodies, their routines, and their ability to rest. Stefan's story, Carpathian Hills. Let me start with Stefan, a wise, gentle soul from a small town nestled in the Carpathian Hills. Stefan was 69, a man of many stories and deep understanding. He'd spent most of his life with no trouble sleeping. But as he entered his late 60s, something changed. Each night, without fail, he'd wake up twice, sometimes 3 times. It wasn't pain. It wasn't a full bladder. He'd visit the bathroom, but the urgency felt unnecessary. It felt like his body was just telling him to wake, even though he didn't really need to. His doctor couldn't find anything wrong. No infection, no diabetes, no prostate issues. Stefan simply accepted it, thinking it was just a part of aging. But when we spoke, I suggested something simple. Try changing when you drink your water. Stefan wasn't sure at first, but he trusted the process. He began drinking most of his water before 3 p.m. Then, after 6 p.m., he only took small sips. And within 10 days, Stefan had his first full night of sleep in years. No waking up in the middle of the night. No dragging himself out of bed. Just peaceful, uninterrupted rest. It was like a quiet miracle, but it wasn't magic. It was simply honoring his body's rhythm. Does this sound familiar to you? If Stefan's story resonates with you, go ahead and hit that like button. You might just be one small change away from the rest you've been longing for. By now, you've probably started to realize that night waking isn't always just about age. Sometimes, it's not even about water. Sometimes, it's about what's on your plate. Yes, the food you eat, especially after sunset, can quietly shape your night. Not with a crash, not with chaos, but with subtle disruptions that only show themselves. When the world is quiet and your body is trying to rest. Let's explore some of these hidden causes. Gentle culprits that sneak into your evenings, disguised as comfort, culture, or even health. And if anything I say makes you go, that might be me, go ahead and drop a comment below. Sometimes just naming the habit is the first step to changing it. Let's begin with something that seems harmless. Evening foods with high water content. Raisin, broth, a bowl of lentil soup, or maybe just a few slices of watermelon, some orange segments, juicy tomato with dinner. These foods feel light. They digest easily. They're warm, familiar, and, in many homes, a symbol of winding down. But here's the truth. They're also loaded with fluid. And when you eat them close to bedtime, that fluid doesn't just disappear. It travels. It fills the bladder quietly. And then, just as your body finally starts to drift into deep sleep, you're awake again. Not from pain, not from a full bladder even, but from a gentle, persistent urge. This is why that bowl of soup at 8 p.m., even if it's light and healthy, might be part of the reason you keep waking up at 2 a.m. Now, am I saying you should stop eating these foods? Absolutely not. But I am saying, shift them earlier. Have your raisin at 5 p.m. Eat your fruits in the afternoon. Let your body digest and release long before your eyes close. And if this reminder is helping you make a mental note, tap the like button right now, because small awareness leads to big transformation. Next, let's talk about something many people sip with the best of intentions. Herbal teas and soothing drinks. Green tea, masala chai, chamomile, even golden milk. They feel like rituals, a way to signal the end of a long day, a form of self-care. And to be fair, these drinks do have healing properties, but they also carry a hidden side. Many of them are diuretics. That means they stimulate the kidneys, encouraging the body to produce more urine. They say, wake up, we've got work to do. just as the rest of your body is begging to wind down. So you drink that soothing cup of tea at 9 p.m., snuggle under the blanket, and within hours, your bladder responds. The kidneys have been reactivated, and once again, sleep is interrupted. It's a paradox, really. You drank something to relax, but your body received it as a wake-up call. So here's the adjustment. Don't abandon your tea. Just move it back a few hours. 6 p.m.? Wonderful. After 7:30? Not so much. You don't need to deprive yourself. You just need to realign. Speech balloon if you've been sipping tea late into the night. Tell me in the comments. What's your favorite nighttime drink? And what time do you usually take it? Let's help each other out. You might inspire someone else to make a simple shift tonight. Now for one of the sneakiest causes of all, salt and spice. Evening meals in many cultures are full of flavor, and that's a beautiful thing. The warmth of pepper soup, the comfort of a well-seasoned stew, the tang of pickles, the heat of spices that awaken the tongue. But behind that flavor is something important. Salt triggers thirst, spice triggers heat, and your body responds with a need to cool down by drinking more water. So what happens? You enjoy a spicy, salty dinner. Then you feel thirsty. You drink 1 cup of water, then another, maybe some tea too. And now, your body has been flooded with fluids after sunset. Fast forward 3 hours, and you're walking to the bathroom. Again. See, it's not just the water. It's the food that led you to crave more water. The cycle begins long before you ever touch a glass. But you don't need to give up your favorite dishes. Instead, try enjoying them earlier. What you eat at noon is nourishment. What you eat at 9 p.m., that can quietly become a burden. Even your favorite meal, when mistimed, can steal your rest. So tonight, before you reach for that bowl of soup, that plate of spicy rice, or that soothing tea, pause for just a moment. Ask yourself, is this food calming my body or preparing it for work? That question alone may change everything. And if you're starting to feel like your evenings could be lighter, your sleep deeper, your routine more peaceful, then stay with me. Because in the next part, we're going to explore the small, physical adjustments, from sleep posture to clothing to simple breathing, that support deep, uninterrupted rest. Back and index pointing right, but first, if you've made it this far, it means you care about your health. So why not share this video with someone else who needs it? A parent, a grandparent, a friend who's always tired. You could be the reason they finally sleep through the night. By now, you've seen how powerful timing and hydration can be. But sometimes, healing isn't just about what we drink. It's about how we move, how we sleep, how we live. Because your body isn't a machine. It's a rhythm, a flow, a delicate dance. And when we adjust even the smallest things, the body remembers how to rest. So let's explore a few gentle shifts. Things that might seem simple at first glance, but carry the power to transform your nights from restless to restorative. Let's start with something many people never think about: how you sleep. You might not realize it, but your sleeping position plays a big role in how your bladder behaves at night. Sleeping on your back, especially with high pillows or firm posture, can put subtle pressure on the bladder. That pressure builds tension, and that tension sends signals. False alarms, whispers that feel like urgency. But when you shift to your left side, something beautiful happens. You reduce pressure on the bladder. You support digestion. You ease the heart. And in just a few nights, many people notice fewer interruptions, fewer unnecessary urges, and deeper rest. Try it tonight. Lie on your left side. Place a small pillow under your head and another between your knees. Let your body settle. It's a small act, but sometimes the small things make the biggest difference. Backhand index pointing right. If you've never tried side sleeping or you felt unsure about how to position yourself, subscribe now. We're sharing a full guided sleep routine in an upcoming video that will walk you through the entire nighttime ritual. Now let's talk about what you wear. Not for style, but for stillness. In many homes, especially in cooler months or older traditions, we're taught that thick nightwear equals safety. Heavy pajamas, piles of blankets, a tightly sealed room. But here's the truth. Too much warmth can confuse the body. Your body begins to sweat. You wake up thirsty. You drink more water, and once again, The bladder is stirred from its rest. Try this instead. Choose light, breathable cotton clothing. Let your bedding breathe. A thin sheet, maybe a light blanket. Let the air move. Let your body cool gently, not fight to stay dry. You're not being fragile. You're being wise. And if you're in a humid place, a soft fan or open window can work wonders for nighttime peace. What do you usually wear to bed? Thick layers or light fabrics? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to know what works best for you. You might inspire someone else to make a change tonight. Now here's a tip most people never consider. How you move during the day affects how you sleep at night. As we age, blood and fluids don't circulate as efficiently. They often pool in the lower legs, especially if you've been sitting a lot. But when you lie down to sleep, gravity shifts. That trapped fluid returns to the upper body, toward the heart, the kidneys, and yes, the bladder. The kidneys sense the increase. They start filtering again. And guess what? You wake up. But it doesn't have to be that way. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need intense exercise. All you need is gentle movement. Take a short walk in the morning. Do a few light stretches. Even simple leg lifts while seated can help. This keeps fluid from pooling. It gives your kidneys less work to do at night. And your sleep becomes less interrupted, more complete. Think of it as morning movement for nighttime peace. Finally, let's talk about something you may not think twice about. Water temperature. Many people love a glass of cold water, especially after a long day. But cold water, particularly at night, can shock the bladder and irritate the nerves. It might feel refreshing, but inside, it awakens the very systems they're trying to wind down. Warm water, on the other hand, is gentle. It harmonizes with the body's temperature. It doesn't disturb the digestive system, and it supports a smooth, quiet transition into rest. So after sunset, if you're thirsty, opt for room temperature or gently warmed water. Your bladder will thank you, and your sleep might just deepen because of it. All of these little shifts, your posture, your pajamas, your water temp, your morning steps, they're like small notes in a quiet song. Individually, they seem subtle, but together, they create a melody that leads the body back to stillness. Back-end index pointing right. If you're finding value in these gentle adjustments, please share this video with someone you care about. You never know, a single change could bring someone back to peaceful sleep. And if you haven't yet, subscribe so you don't miss the next video, where we'll explore how to train your bladder to reduce false alarms at night. Because your body already remembers how to rest. Now it just needs the space and the support to do it. Now, you've learned how hydration, food, sleep posture, and even clothing can affect your nights. But there's one final layer to this journey, one that goes beyond the physical body. Mindfulness, awareness, the practice of not just reacting, but responding with care, with rhythm, and with presence. Because rest is not just something the body does. It's something we prepare for. And the way we end our day often shapes how deeply we sleep. Let's begin with what might be the most common mistake. Drinking water just in case. Maybe you've said it to yourself. Let me drink a little now, so I don't wake up thirsty. Just a few sips before bed. It's fine, right? But here's what actually happens. When you drink water just before lying down, you're not satisfying thirst. You're training your bladder to expect a full tank. At the very moment your body is trying to rest, you're sending mixed signals. The brain wants stillness, but the kidneys hear time of work. The bladder whispers, prepare for release. And so, even when you don't really need to go, you wake up anyway. Instead, try this. About 30 minutes before bed, sit quietly. Not scrolling, not talking, just still. Place one hand on your chest, the other on your belly. Close your eyes and breathe, slowly, softly, in through the nose, out through the mouth. This simple ritual retrains your nervous system and your bladder to understand that the day is over. That now is the time for rest. Dizzy if you try this tonight. Come back tomorrow and let me know in the comments. Did your night feel different? You don't need perfection. You just need practice. Now, let's talk about what to do when you wake up at night. It happens, even with the best routine. Even with mindful eating, warm water, and side sleeping. There will be nights when your eyes open before the sun rises. But when it happens, don't rush. Don't jump out of bed. Don't automatically head for the bathroom. Ask yourself, is this urge real? Or is it just a habit? Is your bladder truly full or just echoing a pattern? Then try this. Before you move, take 5 slow breaths. Let your shoulders soften. Let your belly relax. Let your mind return to the stillness of sleep. Sometimes, that's all your body needed. Just reassurance, not reaction. Over time, this single habit can help rewire the way your bladder sends signals. It begins to understand. Not every stir means go. Sometimes it means rest. If this shift in thinking feels like a relief, subscribe now so you don't miss our upcoming video on retraining the bladder with gentle, daily cues. This isn't about restriction. It's about restoration. If this idea speaks to you, if you've ever felt disconnected from your own routine, take a moment right now and share this video with someone you love. Help them reconnect with their rhythm too. Because what we call aging is often just a change in tempo. And when we listen, really listen, we find that the body still knows how to rest. It just needs a softer kind of attention. So much of what we've believed about sleep, especially as we grow older, has been handed down through quiet misunderstanding. Poor sleep is just part of aging. Waking up at night is inevitable. If you drink less water, you'll sleep better. If it's healthy, it's okay anytime. These beliefs were never meant to harm us. They were whispered with care, passed from parent to child, from one generation to the next. But now we know better. And when we know better, we do better. The truth is, your body isn't failing. It isn't weak. It isn't broken. It's just speaking in a new language. And once you begin to listen, really listen, you'll hear that language clearly. It speaks in timing, in rhythm, in gentle signals. A sip too late, a bite too rich, a habit repeated so long it becomes invisible. But all of these can be rewritten, because the path to peaceful sleep is not paved with small shift. A glass of water moved from evening to afternoon. A cup of tea poured earlier. A new way of breathing before bed. A different position under the covers. Less urgency, more trust. And when these tiny adjustments come together, they create something powerful. Rest that returns. So tonight, before you close your eyes, place your hand on your belly, just for a moment, and ask softly, am I listening to what my body is asking of me? Not reacting, not controlling, just listening, because your body remembers how to rest. It's been trying to return to stillness, not with force, but with rhythm, not with pills, but with presence. Dove, and if this video helped you hear your body in a new way, if even one idea made you pause and reflect, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who deserves better sleep too. This isn't just about advice. It's about reclaiming something sacred, the right to rest. No matter your age, no matter your story, you deserve deep, uninterrupted, healing sleep. Let this be the night you begin to return to it, not with effort, but with ease. Until next time, walk slowly, rest deeply, and remember, your body is still wise. You're not alone. Yellowheart, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos like this.